Why does life seem to spiral downward for so many despite the desire for happiness and peace? It's a question that quietly haunts countless minds. The answer isn't buried in fate or circumstance. Often, it's hidden in plain sight, in the unnoticed habits, the silent thoughts, the unspoken words repeated daily. Many never stop to consider that their vibration, the energetic frequency they emit, is being slowly eroded by these unnoticed patterns. They wait for a shift in life, unaware that it must first come from within. In this video, you'll be shown how to take control of that inner energy. You'll learn the overlooked secrets of vibrational elevation, techniques that don't require years of practice or spiritual expertise, but that begin working the moment you apply them. It's not wishful thinking or blind optimism. It's the science of presence, the art of awareness, and the power of choice. If you're willing to look beyond the noise, what you discover here might just change everything. Energy is not just something you feel, it's something you carry moment to moment. Every thought, emotion, and inner reaction contributes to the frequency you radiate. It weaves silently through your voice, posture, and presence. Most people never stop to notice it, yet it colors how they experience the world and how the world responds in return. You don't see vibration, but you see its reflection in your life, the quality of your relationships, the way opportunities arise or slip away, the tension or peace that follows you into each new day. Low vibrational states rarely announce their arrival. They sneak in under the disguise of ordinary thoughts and habits. One moment, it's a casual complaint, a cynical remark, or a quiet feeling of dread. The next, it's a downward spiral. Days suddenly feel heavier, joy becomes harder to access, and motivation dries up. These states are not always dramatic. Often, they arrive subtly and sit like fog in the background. But when left unchallenged, they solidify into a kind of energetic gravity that pulls everything down with it. This is where awareness becomes your silent guardian. Simply observing your internal climate can be revolutionary. When you become the watcher of your thoughts instead of their captive, you create space. Space to choose again, to rise, to shift. Noticing the presence of fear, anger, or sadness doesn't mean suppressing it. It means refusing to be ruled by it. Like a lantern lit in a dark room, awareness doesn't fight the shadows. It reveals them, allowing transformation to begin. One practical tool for building awareness is conscious inquiry. When negativity stirs, ask, what am I thinking right now? Is this thought serving me or draining me? Is there another perspective I haven't considered? These simple questions create a gap between impulse and action. A space where power lives. You reclaim authorship over your emotional state, not by resisting it, but by recognizing it as transient, not identity-defining. With awareness in place, you regain access to choice, and from that choice, your vibration begins to shift. Not through force, but through conscious alignment. You no longer wait for life to feel better before you do, you lead the way. Awareness is the light at the edge of the tunnel, reminding you that the path out of darkness is not to sprint blindly forward, but to turn on the lamp and walk with presence. Once awareness is awakened, the next movement is toward presence. Recognizing your inner state is a powerful start, but shifting that state requires stepping fully into the now. The present moment is often spoken of in spiritual circles, but its real power lies in its practicality. It is the only place where true choice exists. In the present, there is no story about what went wrong yesterday, and no worry about what might fall apart tomorrow. There is only what is happening now, and that is where your energy becomes most potent. Presence isn't just a concept to understand intellectually, it's a skill to embody. When your mind races through regrets or rehearses future disasters, your body absorbs the stress. The nervous system doesn't differentiate between imagined stress and actual threat. Anxiety, fatigue, and emotional exhaustion build as energy leaks from the present moment into places where no action can be taken. But when you return to the now, through breath, sensation, or focused awareness, you gather that scattered energy back to yourself. It's like reclaiming pieces of your soul from all the timelines where they wandered. A practical entry point into presence is the breathe. Not shallow, distracted breathing, but conscious, measured inhales and exhales. Try this: inhale slowly through your nose to a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale through your mouth for 4, and pause for 4. This simple practice calms the sympathetic nervous system and brings the mind into coherence with the body. As the breath slows, the mind follows. You're no longer being dragged by thought. You're observing it from stillness. Engaging the senses is another gateway. Take a moment to look around. Truly look. Notice textures, colors, shadows, light. Listen to the subtleties in sound: a bird call in the distance, the hum of electricity, the rhythm of your heartbeat. Feel the weight of your body against the chair or your feet grounded to the floor. These observations may seem small, but they are portals. Each one draws you deeper into the truth that life is happening now, not in your head, but in your direct experience. Being present doesn't mean avoiding responsibility or ignoring pain. It means meeting what is with clarity instead of distortion. You stop projecting old narratives onto new situations. You begin to respond instead of react. Over time, this shift from mental noise to embodied presence becomes your new default. Your vibration rises not because you're forcing it to, but because you're no longer feeding what drags it down. As presence becomes a way of being, your inner world starts to stabilize. You begin to realize that peace isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. And in that stillness, life begins to flow with a rhythm that aligns with your highest state. The more grounded you are in the now, the less you fear the unknown, because from the ground of presence, everything becomes manageable, transformable, even sacred. Energy is not confined to thoughts and emotions. It courses through the body, shaping posture, breath, and even facial expressions. When vibration dips, it often manifests as physical heaviness, shoulders slump, breath shortens, and the body withdraws from movement. This stillness, while sometimes mistaken for rest, is often stagnation in disguise. Energy, like water, is meant to flow. Without movement, it pools in places it was never meant to stay, creating tension, fatigue, and a sense of being trapped within one's own skin. Motion is the language of release. Just as the wind clears stagnant air, movement clears stagnant energy. Even gentle activity, when done with awareness, shakes loose what thoughts alone cannot. A few minutes of conscious stretching can open locked muscles, and with them, locked emotions. A brisk walk under the open sky can ventilate the mind as much as the lungs. Physical movement isn't separate from spiritual practice. It is one of its most accessible forms. When you move, you invite circulation, not just of blood and oxygen, but of consciousness. The beauty of movement lies in its diversity. There's no single, right way to do it. For some, it's yoga, a practice that fuses breath with flow, aligning body and spirit. For others, it's free-form dance, allowing the body to express what the voice cannot. Even something as simple as swaying rhythmically to music can lift vibration dramatically. These actions don't have to be precise, they only need to be felt. The goal isn't physical perfection, but energetic liberation. Nature enhances the impact of movement. Walking in natural environments, for instance, offers more than exercise. It resets the nervous system, recalibrates the senses, and harmonizes internal rhythms with the Earth's frequency. With each footstep on soil, a subtle dialogue occurs between body and ground, a grounding exchange that reminds you of your connection to something greater. As ancient Taoist teachings often suggest, a tree that does not bend with the wind will break. Movement is how you bend. It's how you survive storms without fracturing. In moments of emotional weight, when the mind feels cluttered and the soul dim, movement becomes a form of prayer. It says, I am willing to feel again. I am willing to be here. You don't have to wait to be motivated. Start with 5 minutes. Let the body lead, and the mind will follow. Through the simple act of moving, you awaken dormant energy, signal to the universe your readiness, and create space for clarity and joy to re-enter. Your surroundings are not passive. They participate in your energy. Every room you enter, every voice you listen to, every image that meets your eyes carries a vibration of its own. These subtle energies either harmonize with your inner frequency or clash against it. Without conscious awareness, it's easy to become an energetic sponge, absorbing the emotional residue of chaotic spaces or negative influences without even realizing it. Just as a tuning fork vibrates in response to another, your energy responds to everything it's exposed to. That's why curating your environment isn't just aesthetic, it's energetic hygiene. A cluttered space reflects and reinforces a cluttered mind. Dust on surfaces can mirror stagnation in thought. Start with simplicity. Clear your desk, open a window, add elements that bring life. Plants, soft lighting, natural textures, meaningful artwork. These changes are not superficial. They subtly signal to your nervous system that peace and clarity are present. Your outer world begins to mirror your inner intention, creating a loop of energetic support. Beyond the physical, relationships and digital consumption shape your vibrational climate. Time spent around chronically negative individuals, constant exposure to cynical media, or habitual doom, scrolling on social platforms all drain your field. Energy, like attention, is a limited resource. Choose wisely where you spend it. Seek out voices that uplift, communities that encourage, and spaces that feel like a deep exhale. You don't have to isolate yourself, but you must become discerning. As the saying goes, don't surround yourself with people who dim your light. Surround yourself with those who fan your flame. Even one shift in your environment, a room made sacred by intention, a friend who speaks from the heart, a playlist that opens your chest, can recalibrate your entire state. When your surroundings are aligned with your desire to vibrate higher, transformation no longer feels like a battle. It becomes a natural extension of the space you inhabit. You begin to live in harmony with the energy you're trying to become. Imagination is not a retreat from reality, it's a tool for shaping it. What the mind repeatedly envisions, the body begins to embody, and life eventually reflects. Visualization, then, is not wishful thinking, it is intentional creation. It plants emotional experiences into the subconscious, where they take root and begin altering your vibrational signal. The frequency you emit is not just based on what's happening around you, it's largely shaped by what you expect and believe within you. Visualization begins with a clear and vivid mental image, not abstract hopes, but concrete scenes that activate your senses. Picture yourself already immersed in the outcome you desire. See the environment around you, feel the emotions, hear the sounds, even sense the temperature in the air. The more detailed the image, the more powerfully your nervous system responds. The brain, astonishingly, doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So when you visualize abundance, peace, or success with clarity and emotion, you shift your vibration to match it. Even before the external world catches up, this practice is a form of mental rehearsal. Olympic athletes use it to refine physical performance. Visionaries use it to anchor themselves in possibility. You can use it to rewrite your internal atmosphere. Each visualization is like laying a brick in the house of belief. Over time, the structure becomes solid. Your subconscious begins to accept this imagined reality as your baseline, aligning your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors accordingly. Yet visualization alone is only one part of the architecture. Words must follow image. Affirmations are the spoken counterpart to mental imagery. They reinforce what is being constructed in the mind. Phrases like, I am aligned with abundance, I radiate calm confidence, or I trust the flow of life, become more than statements. They become instructions. Spoken daily, written often, and felt deeply, these affirmations imprint new patterns onto the subconscious. Where old beliefs once held power, new truths begin to grow. The key to effective affirmation lies in emotional resonance. It's not enough to repeat words, you must feel them. When you say, I am worthy of love, let that truth vibrate through your chest. Let it echo through the spaces where old stories once lived. Emotion is the glue that makes affirmations stick. The stronger the emotional charge, the deeper the belief embeds itself into your vibrational signature. Over time, the combination of visualization and affirmation becomes a daily ritual of energetic alignment. You no longer wait for life to give you evidence. You generate the evidence within. As belief shifts, so does vibration. And as vibration shifts, life reorganizes itself to match. Visualization becomes the architect. Affirmation becomes the voice. Together, they lay the foundation for a reality built on higher frequencies. There is a form of energy exchange more immediate than thought. more powerful than visualization, and more universally available than any meditative practice. Kindness. Acts of giving are not just moral virtues, they are vibrational accelerants. Every time you offer something to another, be it time, attention, words, or resources, you initiate a transfer of energy that uplifts not only the recipient but the giver. In the act of caring, your frequency naturally elevates. The heart expands, the ego softens, and the illusion of separation dissolves. When kindness is offered without expectation, it becomes a form of spiritual technology. It bypasses the mind's calculations and touches something deeper. What some might call the soul, or the higher self. Helping someone carry groceries, giving a genuine compliment, or listening without judgment can seem insignificant on the surface. But on an energetic level, these moments send ripples far beyond what can be measured. You step out of your personal narrative and into alignment with a broader flow. The rhythm of unity, compassion, and collective elevation. Even in moments when you feel depleted, choosing to act from kindness creates paradoxical strength. Energy given in love does not leave you empty. It multiplies in return. This is the boomerang of vibration. What radiates from you circles back, magnified. It's why, in your darkest moments, extending help to others can be one of the fastest ways to shift your own frequency. You become a channel through which light flows, and in the process, the shadows within you begin to retreat. It's not about dramatic gestures. In fact, the subtler the act, the more potent its vibration. Picking up trash from a sidewalk, sending a voice note to check on someone, or silently blessing a stranger on the street. All of these elevate the field around you. Kindness is a frequency. The more you embody it, the more your life begins to vibrate at that frequency naturally. You move from effort to flow, from lack to abundance. Not because of what you gain, but because of what you give away. Let kindness be the final anchor in your vibrational practice. It completes the cycle that begins with awareness, moves through presence and physical energy, builds through belief, and finally manifests outward. You become a lighthouse, not by seeking attention, but by radiating from within. In choosing to uplift others, you build a world that returns the favor, one kind act at a time. You harmonize your energy with something timeless, something whole. And in that resonance, your vibration not only rises, it stays elevated. Raising your vibration isn't a mystery. It's a discipline of awareness, a practice of presence, and a willingness to shift. Whether through gratitude, breath, movement, uplifting company, affirming your truth, or choosing kindness, you hold the tools. You don't need more time or more perfection. You only need to begin. In each moment lies a choice. In each choice, your energy shifts, and when your energy shifts, your life follows, instantly, completely, and beautifully.